welcome back again to our interview series of our film festival. I'm very happy to introduce the director, writer, and producer of the film When We Get Home Again, set in the First World War in our festival category 4. But I will stop talking now and directly hand over to you. And if you'd be so kind to introduce yourself and to tell the audience what the film is about and why you made this film.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here, especially at this film festival, because this film festival deals with history. And the First World War is a dark time in our history worldwide. And the movie is about, well, two enemy soldiers who meet each other on the battlefield. And they get to see each other. They point the weapon at each other, but they don't kill each other, because you can see a dialogue between those two soldiers, and they see that they're not that different at all. And this is the core of the story. But the audience sees, of course, the dark side of the war, and the core meaning of war and the tragedy. Well, and talking about myself, you asked me, I'm actor, and originally I'm actor and did TV productions and stuff like that as a producer. But later on, I went to more and more to directing, because I also wanted to do narrative work, camera work. And I thought that it's not only important to entertain the people, which is a very high and important goal, but also to inform them, but not I'm not a teacher. I don't say as a director, you have to do that, you have to believe that. No, I want that the audience can recognize the message themselves. That's my goal, and that's why I made this anti-war or peace film, but not in the way that I or the characters are in this movie and tell you, well, you have to do this and that and so on. No, the audience has to recognize it, and this is the main goal, I would say.
Yeah, you already mentioned it, that you are also an actor, and you were also one of the main actors in the film. How was it for you to cope with those different perspectives, to be the director, but also to be in front of the camera?
Well, actually, that's a funny question, because it was I had to, at the end of the production, I had two persona in my mind. At the beginning, I thought, okay, as a director, I have to work like that, and as an actor, I have to work like that. But when we were in the post-production, in the cutting room, and for example, there was a situation, we had a shot of myself on the screen, and I said, because I'm playing a German in this movie, and I said, no, we have to take the French guy, because the German is not good in the shot. And the cutter was turning around. He said, well, the German guy is you. So I had two different people in mind. I had two personalities, I almost could say. So I had the director's personality and the actor. It was a really fun experience, I have to say.
Was it the first time?
Yes. Excuse me?
Sorry. Was it the first time that you were acting and directing as well?
Yes. I did. I was hosting before, talk shows and stuff like that. But it's nevertheless, it's different. It's different between hosting and acting, and it was. I have to say, it was quite tough sometimes, because as director, you have to have the overview about everything. But especially in this movie, it's very intense. we have only two actors in this movie. It's very intense to play it, to get the message to the people in this very short time, because it's a short movie. And it was quite tough. But it was a great experience, I have to say. And I had also really good people on set, and people I used to work with them before. Like the second actor is a great colleague of mine. I was acting with him on stage on a regular basis. So the chemistry with all the people on set was very good, and that was the reason why it ended up quite good, I think.
How did you choose the location where to film?
Well, the location. In this, I don't know if I can spoil something, if it is interviewing in advance, or
it's
is
okay
it
for you? You
Excuse
can.
me?
If it is okay for you, you can. Of
Okay.
course.
Well, we have 2 or 3, I would say, locations, because I wanted to keep it very simple and put the main focus on the dialogue and on the story. And well, we have one location where the dialogue, the most of the big part of the dialogue is happening, and I would say it's very minimalistic, because we just have this hole in the ground, or this fighting position in the dead land, and you I would say you just have the people there. You just have the actors there in the costumes, but not really a big set design, because that was a directional choice, because I wanted to put the perspective on the actors, on the dialogue. But later on, we chose a much wider set, I would say, on the field. It's located on a theater area, the romantic theater area. It's 10 hectares big, so we had the possibility to make this scene, and I was really lucky, because it was filmed in the wine quarter in Austria, so there's a lot of vineyards around. Mm-hmm. And we had this really nice spot where this field was going a little bit up, so we could film from down, but it's just a little bit, so we could film up, and the vineyards at the back a little bit hidden, and it was we were filming in the winter, so there were no leaves. So I had the privilege that the vineyard in the background looked like a fence, and this was a great thing. And for this scene, we had we used 1.5 2 hectares. It's quite a big field we used, and the set design, it was quite a lot of work. We went to the woods, to the forest, and we dig out those old big trees, but not living ones, so like dead trees, with the roots, and put it in this picture. Oh, right. Stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, because I also don't want to spoil too much, because everybody should watch the film then directly. But yeah, it was on the one hand, as you said, it was very intimidated atmosphere, and then you had this broader scene, and that was interesting to know how you managed those different challenges. All right, thank you. Is there any personal matter that drove you, why you chose this subject matter?
Well, that's a long story, but I try to keep it short. I was during the Corona pandemic. Mm-hmm. I did an education and a training at the Austrian Armed Forces, like for more than 1 year. Mm-hmm. I was there. I was doing a cadre leadership training and stuff like that. I'm specialized at heavy search and rescue. And one day we traveled to soldier cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading the names on the stones, and I read the dates, like the ages of those men. And I was shocked because I would say 99% of these men were my age. And well, all of a sudden, this big number you hear on television, documentaries, well, like 10 million dead people and 70,000, and it's when you hear that on television, it's just a number, I would say, more or less. But when you read the names and you read the ages of this man, it's not a number anymore. It's comes closely to the perspective, and I was shocked, and I thought, well, I have to do something. I wanted to do something, and I always wanted to do narrative work. So I said, okay, let's combine this thing. And that's what I did. But that for me, that wasn't enough, because I thought, okay, there are a lot of films, great films, war films, anti-war films, whatever. But for my understanding, when you sit at home, for example, and you watch a movie covered in your blanket, sipping a cup of coffee, you see these brutal images. Of course, it's maybe you get frightened or scared, whatever. But I don't think that the people sitting at home or in the cinema can relate to these pictures 100%. So I try to find something what the people can understand and can relate to, and that's why I chose a theme, a more emotional theme of losing, for example, losing someone, because that's something I think everyone has seen, has felt, the loss of a loved one, and that's what I try to show.
Does it also have? Is there also the reason behind that that you decided to do this dialogue and to include all these personal items into the film to make it more
Yes.
personal?
Yes, more or less, because it's maybe sounds not real, but surreal. But when you're in the army, you have really core topics. You're not talking about, well, maybe your politics or something. You just talk about, well, the basic stuff about eating, women. That it's really raw stuff sometimes, and that's something. If you think about the Maslow pyramid, if you know that, there's a psychological theory, and at the base you have this really core needs. That's eating, that's love, that's whatever, and that's all around the world. That's the same. And this dialogue shows that, more or less, that the needs, the core needs of everyone around the world is the same. And that was the main topic of this dialogue, the main thought behind it, I would say.
How long was your process then to realize this film? You mentioned how everything emerged. So when did you start thinking about it and making the film?
It's a good question. The thing is, I can't say I didn't have a date where I said, well, now I'm starting the production. I didn't have that. I always had the things on my mind, and it was creating and growing in my mind. And suddenly the production was over. I don't know. It just came time after time. The things came together, I would say. But I would say that we more or less, I would say it took 6 months, I would say.
Okay.
From the start, and yes, it was some topics were tough to produce, I have to say, like for example the set at the end of the film. That was quite intense to build this, but also the costumes, because the costumes have to be accurate, more or less, because, for example, the fabric, if the fabric isn't right, the people might well, maybe they don't see it, they don't recognize it, but they feel it somehow. And also for the actors, it's more realistic and more easier to act if they really feel the scratch on the skin. And it took a little bit time of preparation, but we made it, I would say, in more or less 6 months.
Did this dealing with this historical material and the costumes and everything motivate you to do something historical again? What's your plans for the future? Would you prefer to do something new?
I think, for example, well, first of all, I would say that personally, I love historical stuff. I like history, and that's why I think that this film festival is a great idea, because it's quite unique, and I like history myself personally, and also like watching and reading history books and films. I like that, and it was, well, I had a lot of fun, for example, to do this film, but also I wanted to do another history themed topic. And maybe, and that this is, you might be the first one who gets to hear that, but I want to more or less stay with the humanistic topic, with the in the humanistic field, but I want to go away with a little bit, go away from the well, anti-war theme, because I wanted to let this film stand on its own. That the people can recognize it, because it's not my goal to compare two films together. If I do another film, they say, well, the first one it's more moving, and other people say, well, the second one is more exciting, whatever. That's not my goal. I want to bring this message to the people. So I want to leave this film on its own and start with another topic, with another theme, and this might be about handicapped people.
Okay.
Which is, I think, a very important topic, and I think it's the people also have to, well, all the people who are not handicapped, they have to recognize those people more, and that's the direction I wanted to go. But I would like to go and make it a little bit more history heavier on the history side. Maybe a little bit fantasy, but not Lord of the Rings fantasy, but a little bit surreal.
Yeah.
So this is the way I wanted to go.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for all these insights. It sounds very encouraging to hopefully hear from you what happens in future. And we hope all of you would like to see the film then at the festival. And yeah, good luck and all the best for your future films.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.